This is 9 on your side at 5.
A messy day across the east, a couple inches of snow, several accidents, lots of cancellations, and plenty more to come. Good afternoon, I'm Angela Green. Thank you for joining us. A complicated forecast for today. It gets even more complicated later this week. Classes at Pitt Community College canceled tonight. They let folks out at noon. East Carolina making the call at 3 this afternoon to cancel their classes for the night. Closings and delays for schools and businesses tomorrow are already rolling in. Onslow and Craven counties calling it off already. To see the full list, click on active messages under the closing and delays tabs on our website, WNCT.com. Now let's go ahead and get things right over to Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson and your first alert forecast. This is just the start of a very complicated week, Jerry.
It most certainly is. It is going to be a tricky forecast. We're really going to have to thread the needle with the temperature profiles over the next couple of days. Outside today, widespread precipitation, mainly in the form of snow. Unofficially, totals ranging anywhere from 1 to 3 inches across many counties, and maybe even a few local amounts slightly higher than that. But we're also starting to get a little transition over into more of an icy mix across our southern counties. So far here in Pitt County, for Greenville specifically, you can see that it's been mainly snow for us, and the snow continuing to come out there. Our accumulations already most impressive in quite a few locations. And here's everything sort of broken down succinctly. Tonight, our winter weather advisory continues until 10 o'clock, and then everything should begin to shut down. Then we see a beautiful day of weather during the day on Wednesday. Drier, more sunshine, and warmer too. Highs topping out in the 40s. We'll probably get some melting underway. And then another storm system moves back in, brings cold air along with it for Wednesday night into Thursday, and we could see yet another major snowstorm out of that system. And a winter storm watch has been placed in effect by our friends over at the National Weather Service for Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. Generally speaking, here is storm system number 1. It exits tonight, and then we get a break in the action. Sunshine returns tomorrow. We begin to warm up. It does not last long, though. Watch what happens late tomorrow night. Here comes another round of frozen precipitation, mainly in the form of snowfall, and it may continue through the first half of the day on Thursday. Now, up in a few minutes, we're going to tighten up the view and look county by county in eastern North Carolina at who can expect what, and more importantly, when. Angela?
All right, thanks, Jerry. WNCT with team coverage of today's snow. Our reporters and staff spending the day driving the roads in Pitt, Lenoir, Beaufort, and Craven counties. The roads causing a lot of problems across the east. In Greenville, a number of accidents reported. One driver lost control, slamming into an EMS truck heading back to the station. Now, fortunately, no one was injured there. And in another, driver lost control heading towards Winterville on NC 11, slamming into a utility pole. WNCT's Brandon Goldner is in Craven County. He just drove there from the station in Greenville. Brandon, we are glad you made it there safely, but how are roads out there?
Angela, I loved what you said when you were talking about how it was just a mess out there, because it really is a mess. We're on Neuse Boulevard and Glen Burnie Road right now. You can see the amount of slush in this fairly busy intersection. And Jerry was talking about kind of the icy mix we're seeing in the southern counties. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. We're seeing it transition from snow to more of an icy mix. And I want you to show you right now, you can see a yellow DOT truck right there. There's another yellow DOT truck that is also coming out here. Their yard is about a couple hundred feet down to my right. And just driving down here, it was just amazing seeing kind of going down 43. It was interesting to see how kind of, oh, you can see the DOT truck right there, and you can hear it right now. It's amazing going down 43, kind of really a messy condition right in 43, especially along the median. If you're trying to make a left turn, I made a left turn into a gas station. It was just, my car started to slide, and going around the back roads like Streets Ferry Road, and you can see people not paying attention while they're driving. They're just trying to get the attention of the camera. But anyway, keep safe out there. Coming up at 5:30, we'll tell you how DOT has their strategy, especially here in Craven County, for getting rid of the snow and slush on the roads. Live in Craven County, Brandon Goldner, 9 on your side.
Thank you, Brandon. DOT crews, of course, just like Brandon said, out in full force. We caught up with them earlier today. Pitt County maintenance engineer Jeremy Stroud tells us crews expect to get all primary routes done tonight and overnight. They say secondary and back roads will be a major concern as additional snow and rain moves in later this week.
We do have the resources to clear our bare pavement routes. Especially on a snow event, it's a lot easier pushing snow than it is ice. So I feel like we'll be in good shape as far as resources.
Crews are working around the clock, 12 hours on, 12 hours off to take care of the roadways. A lot of crashes reported all across the east today due to icy roads and cars just simply losing control on the roadways. That made for a busy day for EMS crews. WNCT's Josh Birch rode along with paramedics at Chocowinity EMS. He's live in the studio with me now for more on how challenging their jobs are in these conditions. Josh.
Well, Angela, much like us here at WNCT, anytime weather is supposed to be bad, paramedics expect to have a very busy day. Within about a 20-minute period this morning, multiple wrecks all across Beaufort County were reported. Now, there are many two-lane roads in many of the areas of rural Beaufort County. When conditions get icy, sometimes cars are limited in where they can go to allow ambulances to pass. I got to see that firsthand, as you can tell by this video. And Captain Shane Greer with Chocowinity EMS says getting to the scene of an emergency safely is their #1 priority, but they also keep in mind other drivers on the road.
We won't at any point in time just take over a lane. You know, we try to be as safe as we use due regard for the general population.
Now, Greer says they see close calls with their ambulances out on the road on a daily basis. He says intersections present the most dangers because some folks just don't heed the lights and sirens. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll hear from a paramedic firsthand on the way to a call about what it's like to drive an ambulance on snow-covered roads to an emergency. Josh Birch, 9 on your side.
Thank you, Josh. Some scary moments, it looks like there. Now, across the State Highway Patrol reporting nearly 2,000 accidents. One person was killed on Highway 64 in Wake County when their car went off the road and hit a tree in Durham. A Ford Mustang flipped into a creek. The driver and a child got out on their own before a tow truck pulled their car out. And 2 police officers in Charlotte are okay after a tractor trailer clipped a car, causing it to crash into the police cruiser.
You definitely have to be careful and you have to use caution, but it's part of our job.
And in Kannapolis, along Interstate 85, an overturned pickup truck caused traffic to back up much of the south. Not just North Carolina caught in this grip of winter storms today. Freezing rain and snow sent Texas drivers spinning, pushing, and piling up. More than 24 vehicles collided on Interstate 40, many of them large trucks.
Sleet is a little more challenging. It can look like it's passable, but underneath could be that black ice.
Now, the conditions were not much better than this Oklahoma highway. A whiteout brought traffic to a crawl. Runways are open again, though, at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport after weather forced 1,000 flight cancellations yesterday. East Carolina University, one of the last places to cancel things for today. Coming up after your forecast, we'll head over to campus and join WNCT's Andrew Ruiz live for an update on classes and reaction from students. Plus, we want to see your pictures. Meteorologist Candace Bowling is in the Weather Center, and we'll show off some of the pictures you've already sent us. We'll take a look coming up.
And you'll very likely have more pictures to share by the time we head into Thursday. This is just one of 2 strong storm systems that will bring a good chance of measurable snowfall. Your complete forecast is next.
Now your WNCT 9 First Alert weather.
Well, this very complicated weather pattern continues, and snow continues to fall in Pitt County at this hour. Let's take a live look at what's going on outside now. We've already got some good ground cover out there. You know, some of the models, everybody wants to know, well, how much snow are we going to see? Some of the models have us seen every bit as much as we have today, and maybe even more. But again, it's still a little far out to try to nail down the fine details.
And I think that's important for everybody to know.
It is. We don't like throwing out a bunch of numbers because they change quite a bit, and we don't want to change them too much.
Yeah, but we love the snow. It's been fun to play in.
It's also fun to see it go.
We're happy for that too. All right, thank you, Jerry. This is now the second storm of the season and the second time our cars are having to deal with brine. We'll look into the damage it can do coming up at 5:30, but first we'll head back outside and continue our team coverage. WNCT's Andrew Ruiz is live in Uptown Greenville. We'll join him next.
This is 9 on your side at 5.
9 on your side continues to track this winter system dumping snow across the east. WNCT's Andrew Ruiz is live at East Carolina University. They were the last to call off school. Now, Andrew, I'm happy to be warm in this studio, but it looks like it is a lot of fun out there with you.
It sure is a lot of fun out here, and you can tell that they were a little disappointed that this was not an all-day event. Classes were finally called at tomorrow at 10, but you can see that they can kind of gotten over all that. They're right behind me going down the hill. They've been doing this since even before classes were canceled, but it did make for a messy situation earlier around campus. Students braved the snow earlier today alongside were facility crew roadways. We only found one accident near campus, this one on Charles Boulevard. The car apparently slid off into the median, taking on this tree. Say they're surprised school wasn't called off earlier.
Well, I mean, last week we had ice and this week it's just snow, and I don't know. For me, it's worse here now because there's snow everywhere and I don't know about snow.
And of course, leave it to ECU students to get creative. The Pirates are out here still trying to play down the hill, and they're using all sorts of creative things to go down the hill. I've seen someone use a mattress, but Angela, I have a question for you, and I want you to tell me your honest opinion. Should I use the one with the cheeks or just the normal one to go down the hill? What do you think?
I need the one with the cheeks, Andrew.
Oh, of course you would like the one with cheeks. Yeah, we're gonna put these Cuban cheeks on here, and we're gonna go down the hill coming up at 5:30. Back to you.
I am waiting for that. Thank you, Andrew. Now, of course, a lot of folks out and about today having fun in the snow. Many of you sending us your pictures, either emailing us or sending them to us on social media. The First Alert meteorologist Candace Bowling scrolling through them today. She joins us now with a look at some of them. Candace.
Yeah, I think we are up to our eyeballs in pictures, and we appreciate that so much. So if you still have time to send yours in, Facebook, Twitter, make sure you use the hashtag 9 on your side. It's the 9OYS if you're going to use that. And we're also going to get to some of those pictures right now, so we'll take you straight to the graphics and show you that. This one right here, I think this is hilarious. It says, Elsa, let it go, you know, the famous Let It Go song. And they say, snow, go away. We also have some snowmen being built. The roads are covered with snow. That one was from this morning. You see making snow cream, definitely something very popular to do with this. And you can also see a snowy backyard there. And we'll go ahead and show you a few more. You see a nice little family picture there. We've also got very snowy backyards. Those trees make lovely pictures, by the way. You see another one there, another nice one of a home with the snow covered, and another one there from Kinston. So these are from all around the area, and we're seeing everyone sending them in, so be sure to keep sending yours in. As far as unofficial snowfall totals, these are from you on Facebook and Twitter. We're seeing varying somewhere between 1 to 2 inches, even a couple of 3 inches mixed in there. Now, if you are going to send us some snow totals, here are some tips for you. Take about 3 to 5 measurements and take the average of that and send it our way. And also make sure you take them away from buildings and trees. You want to take it in an open area. So make sure you send all those in, WNCT.com, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm going to send it over to Brian Bailey to talk about a little bit of sports.
All right, coming up tonight in sports, all the night's high school basketball first-round playoff action postponed. But we will have ACC basketball, State and Carolina. That game is on. We'll have a preview coming up next. Tonight's State Carolina game in Chapel Hill will be played. Tip-off still set for 8 o'clock. Coming up later on tonight, we'll preview East Carolina's matchup with UConn. That's a good one. Huskies and the Pirates tomorrow night.
All right, waiting for it. Thanks. Coming up new on 9 on Your Side at 5:30. It turns out the methods used to keep you safe on the road aren't so safe for your car. We'll take a look at the impacts of brine. But first, more on your forecast. Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson back next.
This is 9 on Your Side at 5.
Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson back now. I think it's an understatement to say it's been a busy day today.
Yes, it has. This is why I've got more gray starting to come on the side. It's forecast just like today.
The week will be over with soon.
It will. Yes, it will. Once we get to the weekend, we got some warmer weather to enjoy too. But I tell you, it is a tricky forecast to get through over the next few days. That is for sure. Now, as we take a quick look at your inland forecast, notice that during the day tomorrow, we are expecting dry conditions. So we'll see sunshine. We'll probably climb into the mid to upper 40s for daytime highs. But later tomorrow night, our chance of snow showers will begin to increase again with the approach of yet another storm storm system, and a first alert weather day will remain in effect through Thursday. We could easily see major accumulations of snow, every bit as much as we saw today, perhaps even more on top of what we saw today. So another major winter storm getting set to move in by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We should finally begin to see a little more sunshine overall. And look at Monday, daytime high hovering right around 70. And if we see any precipitation early next week, Angela, it will be in the liquid form. Nothing frozen expected. I'm hoping if we can get past these next few days, maybe we're setting up for a more definitive long-term warmer pattern.
Let's hope so. I think our producer had to remind me today was only Tuesday. So got a long way to go.
Insult to injury. Yes.
Stay with us. We'll be right back. It's 9 on your side at 5:30. Here's a look at the top stories we're working on for you. A messy afternoon across the east. A couple of inches of snow, several accidents. One driver lost control, slamming into an EMS truck heading back to their station, and another driver lost control heading towards Winterville on NC 11, slamming into a utility pole. Sadly, one person was killed in an accident in Onslow County. Now, as promised, President Barack Obama has vetoed the bill that would force construction of the Keystone XL oil pipeline. Approval of the pipeline is a top Republican priority. It would connect Canada's tar sands to Gulf Coast refineries. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is offering to allow a vote to fund the Department of Homeland Security without any immigration-related measures. A vote would leave it up to the House or to allow a partial shutdown to occur at the end of the week, causing the furlough of some 30,000 workers. WNCT with team coverage of today's snow all day long. Our Brandon Goldner making the drive to Craven County late this afternoon. He joins us now from New Bern with more on the conditions there.
Angela, there are a lot of DOT trucks out here, especially when I drive down. Now, the DOT, they have a little bit of a process for how they go about clearing out this snow. It's a two-layer process. It starts off with one truck, and pretend my right hand is one truck, and there's snow right here. The one truck kind of goes through a pile of snow, kind of breaks up the snow, breaks up the slush a little bit, and then that's when the second truck comes in right behind the first truck, and the second truck is very important. Take a listen.
As it slushes up, we're able to push it on off the road. Those tougher areas, we're going to be putting some salt out or some salt brine, and hopefully that'll help break that up so at our next pass we can go ahead and push it on off clean.
Craven County has seen about 3 inches of snow. That's according to DOT. They say they have 12 trucks out in the roads, and all those individuals will be working 12-hour shifts. Live in Craven County, Brandon Goldner, 9 on your side.
Thank you, Brandon. And this is just the beginning of a very interesting forecast for this week. Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson has an update on what's happening. Jerry.
That's right, and we've got a lot that's in effect and a lot that will be in effect later in the week. So let's start very simply with what's going on now. And this picture really just tells you everything you need to know. We've got snowfall everywhere in eastern North Carolina today, and every now and then you'll see a few flakes flying by the camera here high atop the Hilton out there, or the Hampton Inn, I should say, here in Greenville. And you can see the showers and snow showers will continue for a few more hours, and then we finally should begin to clear out at least the initial batch of precipitation earlier tonight. The problem is we have another storm system that'll be moving in later this week. So very simply tonight, snow showers ending around early. By the time we hit about 10 o'clock or so, our winter weather advisory should be allowed to expire by then. Then tomorrow the sunshine comes back out. We warm all the way up into the 40s for daytime highs. Probably see some melting. It doesn't last though, because by tomorrow night, cold air returns. Temperatures begin to take a nosedive, and a new winter storm closes in with a renewed chance of significant snowfall accumulations in central and eastern North Carolina. Here's a wide view of what's going on. This is storm system number 1 giving us the activity today. It moves out to sea. Dry weather returns temporarily along with some sunshine for Wednesday, but by Wednesday night, here comes our new storm system racing in out of the southwest, and it's going to bring good potential for measurable snowfall late Wednesday night through the first half of the day at least on Thursday. And of course, as far as our local temperatures are concerned, we're still quite cold outside even now. We still have snow showers ongoing from Rocky Mount, Windsor, all the way down south into Greenville, but we're also starting starting to see a little transition zone of a winter mix, some more icing problems occurring in our southern counties. Now, up in a few minutes, we'll straighten out all of the details of today's system and Thursday's system and let you know, more importantly, when all this will clear out for good. Angela?
All right, thank you, Jerry. Now, let's take a turn and go ahead and head back outside. WNCT's Andrew Ruiz is on campus at ECU, where folks are having a lot of fun. Andrew, what's happening out there now?
Yeah, we're at the Hill. Earlier, actually last week, we saw some ice, and today it's the snow that's bringing so many people out here. They're excited about having a good time out here. Despite classes not being canceled, I did see a lot of younger kids and their parents, K through 12, stayed home, and so this gave families a chance to enjoy themselves. Here's Heather Brimhall with more on their tradition and children's cabin fever.
Yes, we do. They get where they just want to be outside in the snow. We gather them up in the warmest clothes we have, bring out our sleds, and we just get all the energy out.
Where I'm from, we don't get much snow, so whenever I come to Greenville and there's snow, I try to go out and do as much as possible.
Classes got canceled at 3 o'clock, and anything after 3:30 would have to wait until 10. Angela said that I needed to use the cheek sled to go down, so I've assembled a group of guys that are going to go down with me. Let's take a look and see how I do. All right, guys, ready? 1, 2, 3. I think I made it. We all send it back over to you. Angela, you should get down here and have a good time like we are also.
Yeah, that'll be one of my goals for today, Andrew. We'll definitely try that after the show. All right, emergency crews in Beaufort County having a very busy day today. At one time, around 6 accidents were reported at the same time along Highway 33 between Aurora and Chocowinity. Now, weather was to blame for many of those accidents, with cars sliding off the road and in some cases hitting head on. Paramedics with Chocowinity EMS say people need to take heed to the warnings and just stay at home.
You know, the roads are busy enough now. By all means, if you can stay at home, stay at home. It just adds to your chances of being involved in an accident.
Now, Greer says another big problem they see on a daily basis, people not moving over to allow ambulances to pass. Coming up at 6, we'll get a first-hand look at how dangerous it is inside an ambulance responding to calls in these winter weather conditions. Now, while this mixture is meant to keep you safe from snowy, slushy, and icy roads, the ingredients used in brine could cost you at the mechanics. Now, according to AAA, brine is the most effective tool for keeping people from losing control on the roadways, but the acidic compound eats away at parts of your car faster than rock salt.
This truck in particular, it's so bad. I mean, like what shocks were rusting out, the frames rusted, the exhaust that we were having to replace is rusted through, brakes get rusted over.
Now, AAA says drivers spend about $6.5 billion every year repairing damage caused by salt and brine corrosion, and the best way to prevent that corrosion is to head straight to the car wash. And the brine is out in full force from here in eastern North Carolina to all the way in Texas. Cars spinning and piling up on Texas's many sleet-covered roadways. A slick runway at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport caused an American Airlines flight to veer off course, skidding into the grass. Now, none of the 68 people on board were injured. Now, at least 28 people were injured when a Southern California commuter train crashed into a truck and derailed this morning. Emergency crews combed through the wreckage of the Metrolink train. The truck caught fire on impact, but firefighters quickly put out those flames. Now, officials say the train was going about 80 miles an hour and that the conductor slowed down after seeing the truck on the tracks.
After the train noticed the car early and the flashing lights, it was able to establish the emergency protocol early, emergency braking early.
The truck was abandoned on the tracks and the driver was found several miles after the crash. Now, disappointing news for the parents of a Florida teenager, Trayvon Martin. The federal government says there is insufficient evidence to pursue civil rights charges in the shooting death of their unarmed son. Martin was shot dead in a confrontation with a neighborhood watch volunteer named George Zimmerman in February of 2012. Zimmerman was acquitted on state-level charges of murder and manslaughter in 2013. Now, today, the Department of Justice released a statement saying, quote, a comprehensive investigation found that the high standard for the federal hate crime prosecution cannot be met under the circumstances here, end quote. Now, this Thursday marks the 3rd anniversary of Martin's death. VA Secretary Bob McDonald says he's sorry he lied about his military record. McDonald's problem stemmed from a candid encounter with a homeless veteran in L.A. last month. CBS News cameras captured the exchange.
Army, Navy, Air Force? Army? What unit? Special Forces. Special Forces? What years? I was in Special Forces.
And while Secretary McDonald was not in the Special Forces, he did complete Army Ranger training. Veterans groups say McDonald did not need to exaggerate his service. The White House says McDonald's mistake does not prevent him from carrying out his mission of reforming the VA and helping veterans. All right, stay with us. Our team coverage of all this winter storm continues. Our Pierce Allegiant spent the day in Lenoir County. We'll catch up with him. And meteorologist Candace Bowling is collecting viewer pictures from across the east. We'll show them off after your First Alert forecast.
And it certainly does take a whole team of meteorologists to stay on top of all these weather changes this week. We have yet another major snowstorm getting set to move into the state of North Carolina as early as late tomorrow night into Thursday. We've got the details on a winter storm watch next.
Now your WNCT 9 First Alert weather.
We have got one complicated, stubborn storm system on top of us today, and snow continues to fall tonight in Pitt County, but at least we're starting to see the back edge now of some of this precipitation. But this is only round one, storm system number 1. Storm system number 2 arrives later this week. Let's start with first things first outside. A current view of Pitt County, Greenville specifically, and you definitely see a few.
Looking forward to what's in store.
No, not at all. And we saw how many traffic problems we had outside today. What fell today is not going anywhere tonight. We'll get some melting tomorrow, but it'll just refreeze again tomorrow night.
All right, well, we will be watching that around
be
the
careful.
clock. All right, thank you, Jerry. The 90 side viewing area is covered in snow, as we've been telling you all day. Coming up in the next half hour, WNCT is bringing you team coverage from across the east. And coming up, an update on current road conditions and what officials are telling you for overnight travel. Plus, first responders have to be out and ready to go regardless of weather conditions. WNCT's Josh Birch on the job with EMS in Chocowinity. He'll show us some of the challenges they're facing to keep you safe when roadways are rough with ice and snow. Stay with us.
This is 9 on your side at 5:30.
Snow is finally starting to wind down across the east, but roads will stay icy overnight. Meteorologist Pierce Legion is live in Greenville with more on what he saw today. Pierce.
Yeah, Angela, still some snow and sleet falling out here right now behind me at a pretty good clip. And of course, roadways up behind me as well, still very icy. So do be careful if you're heading out over the next couple of hours, especially. Now, the snow that we're seeing right now did fall across the area, started late this morning. The video you're seeing right now is from around 10:30 this morning, in fact, in Winterville. Roads were very snow covered and slick at that point, making it a tough commute for those who had to be out on the roads. Many, though, stayed home for the day and tried to make the best of it.
Make it snow. I got food, got lights, got heat. I'm great. We'll find something to do, play games, eat, have fun.
Now, it wasn't all fun, unfortunately. Dozens of accidents were reported, including these 3 along Highway 11 in Kinston early this afternoon. Thankfully, no one was injured in the accidents I saw in Lenoir County, as roads quickly became icy by afternoon. Snow tapered off late in the day, but not before several inches fell in many areas. Even with the snow now gone, many roadways will be very icy first thing tomorrow morning, so black ice a big concern again tonight, right through tomorrow morning. So just be sure that you keep that in mind if you're heading out anytime in the next couple of hours. For now, though, we'll go ahead and send it back into meteorologist Candace Bowling. She has a look at some of the pictures you've sent in, as well as some unofficial snow totals. Candace.
Yeah, so luckily I get to be in the warm studio, Pierce, unlike you out there braving the cold, but I am scouring through all of those viewer pictures. We'll go ahead and take a look at those right now, and you can see tons of snow pictures being sent in. You see this one's even from the beach. We've got one of someone's road. You can see the road is covered. That one is adorable as a little kid out there playing in the snow. Got a nice scene of a back deck and a little more kids out there. You know, always love kid pictures in snow. It's so much fun for them. I remember fond memories of me playing in the snow. And we also have a couple more from Trenton, a nice one here of a fence, and also have some cars. See that tiny little snowman on the car? That one's pretty cool too. This one over here, you can see a very snow-covered road, and another one of a family. So a lot of fun out there. Make sure you continue to send your pictures in. As far as unofficial snow totals, we're seeing somewhere between 1.5 inches upwards to 3 inches. And my favorite viewer one was enough. That one was completely hilarious to me. You can send them in, WNCT.com, picture this, Facebook, Twitter. Make sure you use the hashtag 9OYS. And there's some tips for you if you are going to take some measurements. We'll stay tuned. We'll be right back. That last look at your 7-day forecast.
All right, some good tips there. Okay, stay with us. More on the day's big story next. Chief Meteorologist Jerry Jackson is back to break down tonight and the rest of the week with your inland and coastal 7-day forecast.
Well, taking a quick look at your 7-day forecast, obviously our first alert weather days are going to continue for a little while longer. Now we have some lingering snow showers tonight, but our winter weather advisory should expire by around 10 o'clock. Do keep in mind, though, as we head into Wednesday, we'll see a lot of sunshine during the day, but by Wednesday night, continuing into part of the day on Thursday, a brand new winter storm begins to move in with the potential, at least, for additional significant snowfall accumulation. Once we clear past Thursday, finally, we see a more tranquil and noticeably warmer temperature pattern move in. By early next week, we'll be talking about highs near 70 degrees.
We are waiting for that.
We certainly are.
Of course, we will be covering all this and more next on 9 on Your Side at 6. Please stay with us. Don't turn the channel. See you then.